Now, I also would like to say, before I introduce this incredible crew, if the Super Bowl was to be on Wednesday, okay? Not saying teams that'll figure it out and get better by the end of the season what the Super Bowl will actually look like with the football gods blessing some people, injuries and not. If the Super Bowl was on Wednesday, I think it's clear cut two teams are battling. Miami Dolphins taking on Dallas Cowboys.
Whoa.
I mean, these two teams are at the top of their conferences, and it has to be a blast to be their fans because for a long time, one side of the coin, this team stinks. Remember, just a couple years ago, it was being alleged that the owner was telling the coach, I'll give you more money, you lose.
Yeah.
That was being alleged. We didn't make this rule up.
Nope.
We didn't make this report up. We're just telling you that was being alleged. That's what the fans had to go through. Hey, our team is actually trying to lose. We stink. Then all of a sudden they go all in. They find Tua as this gem. McDaniel, who's the most chill coach in the history of the NFL, him racing against the cameraman at halftime after doing an interview is maybe the greatest display of swagger, confidence, and moxie I've ever seen. You're in Foxborough taking on an absolute legend in Bill Belichick. You're up 17-3, and what are you doing? You're actually messing with a cameraman, knowing that you got it figured out. Could you imagine being that comfortable?
No.
You know how much work has to get to the point that you're that comfortable, especially taking on Bill Belichick and that confident? Good for them, and what they have on the field is going to be tough to be duplicated. Now, I was a guy that is a fan of a team that was maybe going to get their number 2 wide receiver. Okay?
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
know, whatever, and that was an absurd ask. I saw last night why people in Miami were thinking it was an absurd ask. What Jalen Waddle was able to do for that offense is phenomenal, and McDaniel was able to use all these pieces to be great. They've come out of the gates hot, and it seems like they're not slowing down. Shout out to that defense, too.
Yeah.
Let's not get crazy and forget about it. Miami Dolphins are at the top of the AFC right now, I do believe. Now, some people are saying the Patriots stink, so we're judging a little bit. Well, let's talk about the Cowboys then. This Cowboys defense, what? We're talking about historic. They're putting them up against the steel curtain of the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day. And I think even the Bears defenses are back in the day. All these stats are being chatted about this particular team in the first 2 weeks. And you got Dan Quinn up in the booth doing his thing. They are stacked. Micah Parsons is an alien. This dude is just different. He's so fast, so strong, so fast, so dialed in. Anytime he wants to get to the quarterback, he's going to do that. Then he's going to do a little jungle cat celebration.
Wild.
This dude is different. He is also, his work ethic's absurd. I think mentally he wants to be the greatest. He has a podcast, I think, every single Monday on Bleacher Report where he chit-chats, and it's fantastic. Great personality. This dude is there. He's one of like 5 other, and then he just said, give me that ball. Give me the ball to Dalvin Cook. On the defensive side of the ball, they're going to have 5 first-team All-Pros, we think, at this stage of the season. And on the offensive side, Big Mike McCarthy's back under the headset. He's dialing up beautifully. He's having a good time. Feels like he's right back in the groove with Aaron way back in the day. The offense is going to be great. Dax doesn't seem to be put in a position to make as many mistakes, to turn the ball over. This might be the perfect offense for him. And that guy right there, Smell Me, shout out Pac-Man with the dance that CD Lamb does every single time he gets a first down. They are phenomenal. Give me the Cowboys and the Dolphins as the top of each conference after the Week 2 Sunday slate. I guess things could change tonight with what the Cleveland Browns do to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they are as dominant as they were in Week 1 against a Cincinnati team that we got to ask questions about. There's a lot of questions around. There's a lot of great teams around. Let's start chit-chatting with the boys. I said, on this microphone right here.
Oh, yeah, I think we remember.
What was it?
We remember. At least we in the North and the East.
Okay, so into this microphone.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah,
you do.
Do you remember what happened?
Yeah.
So the Jets beat the Buffalo Bills.
It was a great win.
Yeah, that's right.
It was an incredible win. They lost Aaron on play 4 of his tenure as the New York Jets, which he said on Friday he's got eyes on, returning this year, and hell yeah.
Yes, he does.
And on Tuesday, after they get that big win over the Buffalo Bills without Aaron, in a new Zach Wilson that I'd seen on Hard Knocks and what I thought Zach Wilson was, because remember Hard Knocks preseason, he's running, shaking, grooving, talking shit,
down the sideline,
hanging out with his teammates. He's doing that whole thing. So on Tuesday, after they beat the Bills without Aaron, and Zach Wilson kind of gets handed the baton, 2 years earlier than what everybody thinks, I said, you know what?
What's that?
Because of how good that defense is, they're so good. Because that offense, because of how weapons they have, what I've seen out of Zach Wilson, Dalvin Cook getting out in a Breeze Hall is over there.
Okay.
Even without Aaron, the Jets are going to make the playoffs.
Yes, you did.
So I said, right here, into this microphone.
You weren't the only one.
And I did realize that there was other people that were like, I don't think he's wrong. Like there were people amplifying what I was saying.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Preach. This guy's saying. A lot of people are saying that. Okay, and I'm like, now I'm the hot take guy all of a sudden who's on ESPN. Holy hell, I've sold out. I've changed. And then I was like, you know what? I do believe it.
Trust him.
In the moment, I believed it. Right now, I believe it.
Right.
And then I watched them. Right now, I do not believe that. Things have changed a little bit. But it was the Dallas Cowboys defense, which has become a little bit of an issue. At the beginning of the show, I said, hey, if there was a Super Bowl on Wednesday, I'm not saying this is who's going to be in the Super Bowl because it's very hard to project that type of thing this early in the season. We have no idea who the football gods are going to bless with injuries and fortune of the bounce of a ball and everything like that. It's very hard. But if there was supposed to be a Super Bowl on Wednesday, I would have the Dolphins out of the AFC and I would have the Dallas Cowboys out of the NFC. And I don't think I'm the only one. Obviously, this is an easy take. You agree with this entire thing? These two teams have seemingly come out hotter than everybody else. Is it sustainable in your eyes, AJ Hawk?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It should be sustainable. Now, it takes a lot for that to happen. You need to obviously get very lucky with injuries. You can't have any injuries to key positions, especially, I think, O-line. You want to protect your quarterbacks. But, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a sustainable thing. But do you feel like the Dolphins can continue this for 17 games? I'm not saying they're going undefeated, but they can continue and, win the majority of their games playing like they are now.
Well, the thing about it is, like, Tyreek Hill is one of these Lambos, Ferraris, but he's also durable. This guy has somehow managed to remain healthy. And we're talking about normally muscles. When you're the fastest, most explosive guy on the field, which is Tyreek Hill every single time he steps on a field. And I know the commentators are talking about a lot of conversation about who's the fastest guy on the team. We all know who the fastest guy on the team is. I appreciate the fact that the guys in the workouts and the guys in the gym and the locker room think they're faster than Tyreek Hill. It's like the guy's the fastest human that's ever been on a football field. I think that is very clear when you see him out there. But the way McDaniel draws up plays for him to be forced to be open pretty much is another weapon. And then you think about Tua, with what Tua's been able to do, putting balls literally in keyholes to different guys. And then the emergence of Waddle over yesterday, not only just last season he was great, but yesterday he got into it in a big fashion. Mostert popped off a massive 80-yard run. It's like this team, I think it is sustainable if they remain healthy. And like Tyreek Hill has remained healthy. Tua, we're thinking with the new jiu-jitsu ability to roll through whiplash hits, which I think Anthony Richardson will hopefully be taking the same type of rolling lessons in jiu-jitsu. It's like I think Miami is sustainable. I believe it is sustainable, Darius.
I mean, offensively, they're clicking on all cylinders. I think the Patriots had a pretty good game plan early on to make them kind of go that long, hard way, make them be patient. But the quickness that Tua gets the ball out of his hands, the motions, the pre-snap shifts and all that. And then his defense, you only expect him to get better as Vic Fangio kind of gets more comfortable with his personnel. Ramsey's going to enter the lineup at some point. Tua's been kind of clean all year, and Armstead's not even there yet, their best left tackle. So, I mean, hey, we feel good down there.
Oh, we are right.
Don't forget about DeVinky. DeVinky might have been the best player on the field last night.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable, flying around.
Wilkins also, right? I mean, that guy didn't get a contract, but he said, all right, it didn't work. I'm going to still play and play dominant. Gumpy, what normally happens in this situation? You guys just fall apart? What is it? Is optimism high down there in Miami that it's good? This is the year. It is different than what it has been.
I think because of the way they won last night with Mostert running for like 127, like they won in a way like Tua's not going to be able to throw for 466 every game. Winning like they did last night, their defense played way better. Is pretty impressive, to be honest.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing just watching it as like with all the questions before with the Dolphins is Tua going to be able to stay healthy? And I think it's absolutely yes. Because, I mean, Gumby just mentioned it. They beat us running the ball, and that was much different than week one. But also a huge question mark going into the season was the O-line. And look at that. Like, that's unbelievably blocked. It's perfect. He goes untouched 40 yards into the end zone. Like, if they can do this and Tua's getting the ball out quick, because it's not as if it's like last year where he's hanging on to it waiting for people to be open. Like the schemes that they're running, that little, motion out into a wheel with a flat and then Tyreek Hill sitting down, like everything feels perfect for the Dolphins, and Tua's really not getting touched.